Hello, fellow entrepreneurs. Welcome to my channel where I read and summarize books relating to being a better entrepreneur. I've met no one who I thought was wise who didn't read. I believe reading is essential for those who seek to rise above the ordinary. So today, we'll be learning from Bill George and Peter Eagle Sims's book, True North. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. It sometimes appears as if the world's great leaders are led by a supernatural hand. Don't they appear to be too focused, too smart, and too right all the time to make decisions like the rest of us? Surprisingly, no. The Bill George and Peter Sims of this book interviewed 125 great leaders and discovered that they aren't all that different from us. They possess characteristics that cannot be summed up in a few simple leadership cliches like vision or talent. Rather, these leaders are able to focus on the right things. They understand the most important issues and remain focused on them. How? They follow their true north, or the compass that represents who they are at their core and guides them toward becoming the best leaders they can be. When the world around you appears to be in disarray or spinning out of control, your own true north can keep you on track, inspired, and true to yourself. To become a great authentic leader, the book suggests that we find our true north. Part 1. Take your life story as inspiration and motivation for leadership. Every one of us has a unique life story shaped by previous relationships and events. Authentic leaders, on the other hand, benefit more from these encounters than the rest of us. Authentic leaders are people who are true to themselves, and their beliefs can inspire others to achieve their full potential. In the end, they care more about helping others than about their own success or recognition. Understanding the meanings of the key events in your personal story will lead you to your true north and assist you in finding and focusing on it. As a result, you'll be on your way to becoming an authentic leader. Howard Schultz, the founder of Starbucks, is an example. When his father's job was lost due to an accident, his entire family lost health insurance. Schultz's mother was pregnant and unable to work, so his parents took out loans to pay the bills. If given the chance, Schultz promised to create a different reality for workers, and as a result, Starbucks became the first company in the United States to offer health insurance to part-time employees, working as little as 20 hours per week. Schultz's experience and memories of his father guided him down the path to authentic leadership in this case. Authentic leaders' stories also give meaning to their lives and inspire them to make a difference in the world. Retha Clark King, the former president of the General Mills Foundation, is another good example. Poverty and discrimination were constant obstacles in King's life as a poor black woman growing up in Georgia during the 1940s. Despite this, she was awarded scholarships and went on to earn a PhD in thermochemistry. King's mission is to expand opportunities for the poor and to assist others in overcoming racial and gender discrimination. She drew strength from her own story to stay true to herself and on track with her true north. Money and success don't make genuine leaders forget about who they left behind. Instead, they instill a sense of obligation to assist them. Part 2. You may lose sight of your inner compass due to self-centeredness. You're more likely to get derailed from a path to authentic leadership as you gain acclaim and the rewards that come with it. Imposters, rationalizers, glory seekers, loners, and shooting stars are the 5 archetypical leaders who are most likely to lose sight of their true north. Imposters lack self-awareness and self-esteem, relying on cunning and aggression to succeed. They are politically minded, and once in power, they don't give a damn about how they are perceived. The weakness of rationalizers is that they deviate from their values. These are the bosses who never take responsibility for their actions and do everything in their power to meet their quotas. Rationalizers put the long-term health of a company ahead of their own short-term gain. We are all familiar with the glory seekers. Outward signs of success such as money, fame, glory, power, and acclaim motivate them to work for them. The failure of loners to develop personal support structures, such as close relationships or mentors, is their fatal flaw. Consider someone who believes he or she can, and should, be the lone wolf. They are probably unaware that their behavior identifies them as a loner because they are so focused on their goals. Shooting stars do not have a balanced lifestyle. They rise too quickly to learn from their mistakes, and they have no time for their families or friends. They are frequently overwhelmed by personal and professional issues as a result of their sudden rise to power. Philip Purcell, the former CEO of Morgan Stanley, is a real-life example of one archetype, the imposter, who was tasked with building a financial services powerhouse by combining investment banking and brokerage. Purcell consolidated his power by deftly manipulating the board of directors and ejecting those who questioned his leadership. many people were dissatisfied with his leadership style, and a number of talented employees left. While anyone can lose their way, understanding that leadership is about empowering others to lead can help you get back on track. Part 3. Authentic leadership entails assisting others in their endeavors. Some leaders believe that their power comes from their ability to persuade others to follow them, but this is a fallacy. Being an authentic leader isn't about enlisting the help of others to help you get where you want to go. It's about inspiring others to achieve their full potential. It often takes a triggering event for you to realize the importance of your leadership role. For example, Oprah Winfrey once interviewed a woman named Trudy Chase, who had been sexually abused as a child, on her show. During the interview, Winfrey was overcome with emotion as she remembered her own traumatic childhood experiences. Since that pivotal interview, she has realized that her mission is to empower people all over the world, particularly women, rather than pursuing personal success. Winfrey's story exemplifies the kinds of life-changing experiences that most authentic leaders go through. It's often in these trying times that you realize authentic leadership isn't about promoting yourself or your interests. Rather, it's about inspiring others to achieve their full potential. You will abandon the belief that you are the hero of your own journey after undergoing this transformation in order to lead others to a greater calling. Steve Rothschild is a good example of this. He felt like a man in the middle as a vice president of General Mills in his 30s, lacking the satisfaction of leading his own team. After realizing that his passion was helping poor, underprivileged people become financially self-sufficient and build stronger families, he decided to leave General Mills a year later. As a result, he founded Twin Cities Rise, a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing employers with skilled workers by training unemployed or underemployed adults. True North is the driving force behind your leadership. Part 4. Self-awareness will keep you on the path to success. Knowing oneself is age-old advice, but that doesn't make it any easier. After all, we're multifaceted beings with many facets to our personalities. That's why you'll need a compass, one that will help you calibrate your actions so that your leadership remains consistent with your personal values. When your compass is working properly, it will keep you on the track to true north. The core of your compass is self-awareness. You must understand which roles you excel at, as well as your natural strengths and interests. Self-awareness is important because it aids in the development of true self-confidence. Take, for example, Adobe CEO Bruce Chizen, who was hesitant to work in the tech industry because he was not an engineer, but he knew he had business and product marketing skills and could learn about engineering. This evaluation of his abilities and skills gave him the confidence to work his way up to CEO. Another reason self-awareness is so important is that it allows you to find colleagues who complement your skills. Self-awareness, according to Ned Barnholt, former CEO of Agilent, allows leaders to see their own flaws, which helps them build stronger teams. Barnholt is self-aware enough to recognize that accounting is not his strong suit. As a result, he surrounds himself with top-notch financial professionals. On the other hand, a lack of self-awareness can result in serious issues. David Pottruck, the former CEO of Charles Schwab, for example, was a tireless worker who couldn't understand why his coworkers despised him. He was understandably taken aback when his boss gave him a low trustworthiness rating, citing his colleagues' perceptions of him as self-serving. Pottruck had to put a lot of effort to confront his blind spots and understand how others see him. However, it paid off. He eventually led the firm to outstanding success after gaining the support of his colleagues. Part 5. Put your values and principles into action. With self-awareness at the core of your compass, you must now discover the values and principles that will guide your leadership. What are the things that are most important to you? Is it about staying true to yourself, or perhaps assisting others? You'll be well prepared to establish the leadership principles that will define your leadership style once you know what matters in your life. These leadership principles are, in essence, your values put into action. When things are going well, it's easy to stick to your values. When you're under duress, such as when your success, career, or life's on the line, your values will be put to the test and may even change. David Gurgen, a former presidential advisor to Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, and Bill Clinton, wanted to live a life that reflected the values instilled in him by his family. When the Watergate scandal broke, Gurgen felt he couldn't resign because he didn't want to be seen as a rat jumping ship. He was in a potentially career-ending situation, despite the fact that he wasn't corrupt himself. And after witnessing Nixon's total lack of transparency both before and after the scandal broke, Gurdjieff realized that transparency was his central leadership principle. Your moral compass and values can be put to the test in a variety of ways. However, once you've found your true north, you'll be able to stick to your values without straying. Take, for example, Narayana Murthy, the founder of Infosys, who wanted to demonstrate to the rest of the world that it was possible to run a business in India without corruption and create wealth in a legal and ethical manner. Infosys had to wait an entire year for their telephone line to be installed because he refused to pay bribes. Although this made it difficult for the company to grow at first, Murthy's leadership principle of honesty instilled discipline throughout the organization, which everyone appreciated. Murthy believes there is a direct link between his company's values system and its success over the last 24 years. Part 6. To get the most out of your abilities, find the right motivation. Authentic leaders must find the right motivation in addition to self-awareness and values. Of course, you must first understand what motivates you. Extrinsic and intrinsic motivations are the two types of motivation. The external world measures extrinsic motivations like good grades, trophies, and high salaries. Intrinsic motivations, on the other hand, are derived from your own personal sense of meaning in life, your true north. Personal growth, the satisfaction of doing a good job, and sticking to your beliefs are all examples of motivations that are often closely linked to your life story. Intrinsic motivations are more subtle than extrinsic motivations because they come from within you. Many people, in fact, never tap into these powerful motivators. Indeed, many leaders seek international acclaim rather than doing what motivates them intrinsically due to society's obsessive focus on material gain and the resulting social pressures. Many young leaders, for example, take high-paying jobs to pay off debts or build a savings account. They believe that after 10 years or so, they will be able to move on to work that they enjoy. Instead, they become addicted to their way of life, becoming unmotivated and unhappy as a result. The key to becoming an authentic leader is not to eliminate all extrinsic motivations, but to balance them out with intrinsic motivations. Bob Fisher, the chairman of The Gap, is an excellent example of how to strike a balance between these motivations. He discovered the remains of rusted gold mining equipment while fishing in the North Fork of the Feather River in his mid-20s. This sight made him deeply concerned about the environment's well-being. Fisher developed a new intrinsic motivation as a result of his environmental awareness. He gathered his employees to look at what the company could recycle and joined the Natural Resources Defense Council Board of Directors, NRDC. His initiative benefited not only the environment, intrinsic motivation, but also the public perception of the company, extrinsic motivation. Part 7. Invest in long-term relationships to expand your support network. Even high-level executives who appear to be self-assured require support and appreciation. Great leaders recognize this and, as a result, build excellent support teams. Many authentic leaders have had a mentor who has changed their lives by assisting them in developing leadership skills and the confidence to lead authentically. Mentors don't always make you feel good about yourself, but they do give you the tough love you need to learn important lessons. Do not be apprehensive about approaching potential mentors. There's always more to learn from seasoned professionals who are willing to assist you and push you to grow. Dave Dillon was named Merchandising Vice President of Fry's Supermarket, a division of the family-owned Dillon's Company, while still in his 20s. Chuck Fry, the man who sold fries to Dillon's, called him one day. Fry offered to show him around a Fry store, and they've been talking for at least an hour every day since then, with Fry coaching Dillon on how to maximize the company's potential. Personal support groups, like mentors, can be a rich source of wisdom and advice that will help you develop as a leader. The most effective groups are made up of peers who meet on a regular basis to discuss the issues that matter most to them. Bill George, one of the Bill George and Peter Sims, meets with a men's group that began 30 years ago every Wednesday morning for 75 minutes. Indeed, he and the other members of the group regard the group as one of the most important aspects of their lives. It allows them to clarify their beliefs, values, and understanding of important issues, as well as provide honest feedback when necessary. You don't even need to leave the office to find a peer support group. Just look around your workplace. Your coworkers will face similar challenges and provide you with the information that you may not be aware of. Building a support network does not stop with personal support groups or mentors. It also includes your life partner, family, and close friends. Because being a leader can be lonely and isolating, maintain your positive relationships. Part 8. Integrate all aspects of your life to ensure that you remain true to yourself at all times. Authentic leadership isn't just about who you are at work, as we've seen. You must live an integrated life in order to get the most out of your true north. An integrated life is one in which the major elements of your personal and professional lives, such as work, family, community, and friends, are brought together so that you can be the same person in each setting. Many people wonder if it's possible to have a fulfilling personal life while also excelling at work. Yes, it is. You simply must accept the fact that you cannot be everywhere at all times for everyone. You have to make trade-offs from time to time. Take, for example, Chris Johnson, who was once a rising star at Medtronic. Johnson discovered that she was spending too much time away from her family on arduous international trips after being promoted to the head of Medtronic's global business. She left Medtronic to work for a smaller venture capital firm so she could spend more time with her 2 daughters. In essence, she discovered the freedom to strike the proper work-family balance. To achieve this balance, she had to give up some career opportunities in order to spend more time with her family. Furthermore, authentic leaders are always conscious of the importance of remaining grounded. It prevents them from becoming cocky at high points and forgetting who they are at low points. Finding a place you can return to help you stay grounded is one way to do this. Many genuine leaders have a special place where they can restore themselves and regain their perspective with their families. As the daughter of Infosys CEO Narayana Murthy, Akshata Murthy grew up in Bangalore and regularly visits India to see old friends and family, and she is committed to making an impact there someday. You can't avoid the stress of leadership, but you can keep your personal and professional lives in check. This wraps up the summary from the book, True North by Bill George and Peter Eagle Sims. Thank you for sticking out through the very end of this video. Nothing helps out my channel more than y'all watching the entire video. These videos take a long time to make, and is a labor of love. If you would like to contribute by buying me a cup of coffee, I'll leave the link below along with the link to this book. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe and watch these videos that might pique your interest. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, keep reading.